Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Independent brands, Roger Dubuis, FP Journe. What are my favorite leathers? And what we're not going to talk about is what Rolex is releasing tomorrow, because that is tomorrow. That is not today. Today, I'm going to answer some of your questions that you asked me on Instagram. That's at Federico Talks Watches, and we're going to do some more watch geek content. We can all freak out about Rolex tomorrow. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Girard-Perregaux Laureato Evo 3 Moonphase Big Date Power Reserve, one of the best bang per bucks in all of horology. And also, guys, don't forget to check out DelReyWatch.com. I actually got a few very interesting pieces over the weekend. Dietrich. If you guys don't know them, go check them out. It's an alien-esque shaped, independent, small brand. I just got a few of them in, brand new box and papers. That's on DelReyWatch.com, along with a few classics like a Rolex Explorer and a Ulysse Nardin annual calendar chronograph, also brand new and well under $10,000. Deals you can only get on DelReyWatch.com. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, let's get right into it, and I'm going to be answering your questions. The first one is from Broski47. He says, what watch type or category do you enjoy selling the most? For example, independent brands, boutique brands, large brands, special functions. Well, this one's pretty easy for me. I love selling dress watches from independent manufacturers. I love selling H. Moser. I love selling Ming. I love selling quirky stuff. Why? Because apart from the fact we're one of the few dealers that's willing to stock some of this stuff, I'm a watch geek at heart, and I love being able to kind of find a new home for those pieces. Nothing wrong with Rolex. Love Rolex. I own Rolex, and God knows I make a fair amount of money selling Rolex as well. But what really puts a smile on my face is when I find a home for a unique piece that somebody may have never even have heard of. Bringing a little bit of horology to the watch geeks. The next question from Esteban.Canasta. What are your thoughts on the Roger Dubuis La Monegasque? Would you prefer it over a classic El Primero? Well, La Monegasque is one of my favorite watches. It was only made by Roger Dubuis for a few years and quickly discontinued. I love Zenith as well. The El Primero is an iconic movement, but La Monegasque is a whole other echelon of watch. It's just a better watch in every shape or form, and it's also about 10 times the price, at least brand new. I imagine you're talking about La Monegasque chronograph. However, pre-owned, they don't particularly hold value, and La Monegasque is not that much more than an El Primero. For me, if I could afford either, I'd take the Roger Dubuis any day of the week. Geneva Seal movement, small brand, very unique. It's just kind of what I love. Third question from my good friend Lobster Bags. Fed, my question is, how can I stop becoming you? I hang around Naples and Amalfi in Italy. I drink Negronis. I bought an SKX and a Speedy after your views. I even considered moving to Florida once. Lobster, why would you not want to be me? I'm pretty damn amazing. But I'm very flattered. I guess, how can you not be me? Stop liking watches. Just no more watches. And I don't know. Get into like fitness. In all honesty, I'm working on it myself. But thank you for the compliments, brother. I really appreciate it. TLB090719. Favorite quarantine meal and what do you drink with it? That is very easy. Favorite quarantine meal, picking up stone crab from Joe's Stone Crab down in South Beach, eating it on my terrace with either a slightly dirty martini or a bottle of Bilicar Salmon Rosé Champagne. Cannot go wrong. Yes, a little fancy, I know, but if not, give me an arepa. If I wanna go the other end of the spectrum, a Venezuelan arepa and a beer. Can't go wrong with either. Cron89. Do you plan on settling down in Miami, or would you ever consider moving elsewhere? I absolutely do not plan on settling down in Miami. I love traveling too much. So far in my life, I've lived in New York, Madrid, Cardiff, London, and Miami. I think next I'm probably going to end up moving to Asia at some point. Miami's a great town, great city, but I just don't think I'll ever settle down anywhere. I'll always be on the move. Oi Vinler says, "Hey Federico, I have a question for you and been wondering about it for a while now. The question is, when a watch is $2,000 to $4,000 or higher, do they have some sort of cost certificate? For example, IWC, Bell & Ross, Tag Longines, GP, and Panerai. Do you know if they have certification with the watches mentioned?" Well, no. They only have COSC certifications if they've been certified by COSC. Has nothing to do with the price of the watch. In fact, a lot of brands refuse to certify through COSC, and they have their own standard. And their own standard is sometimes well off of COSC standard. I think when you reach a certain price point, brands argue it's not about accuracy, it's about the art, the finishing, and the complication. I don't necessarily disagree with them, if I'm very honest with you. I think COSC is a little too blown up, and while accuracy is important, after all, this is timekeeping, if it's the main thing, go buy quartz. While I do think watches should meet minimum levels of accuracy, that's a whole different video. I don't want to ramble, but no, those watches don't have any certification at all unless they are, of course, certified by COSC to begin with. Pierce Arrow. Favorite non-calf or gator leather? I find lizard straps very attractive. I have an obsession with ostrich. I love ostrich. This is my ostrich and calf briefcase, and inside of it is my ostrich and lizard watch roll. This is not a plug for combat straps. He did make both of these for me. He has no idea I'm doing this video. He's not paying me. But yeah, ostrich, big fan of ostrich. I love the texture. It's rugged. It's still exotic. It used to be more popular in the 90s, but what's wrong with that? For me, that's a very easy question to answer. Moving along. Without taking price or demand into consideration, would you trade your Hulk for a ceramic Kermit? No, absolutely not. The ceramic Kermit, first of all, doesn't exist yet, even though it might come out tomorrow. I think the green dial is what makes the Hulk special, and I think a ceramic Kermit would just be boring. And lastly, ATZ552. Is the Jaeger Master Control Date Sector Dial going to hold value? I think long-term it absolutely will. They've already started climbing in price as they've become harder to find. Very beautiful and unique watch that was received extremely well by Jaeger, and it was priced extremely correctly when it did come out. I think Jaeger does not hold value well generally. That is not a reflection of their quality, by the way. But I do think this particular piece, which is supposedly made in a limited run, is doing quite well now, and I expect it to do even better in the future. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. And please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.